Hello, everyone, and welcome to Slippery People. I'm Liliana Velasquez, and I'm very excited about our super talented artist this week, Miss Summer Banks.
Hey.
I don't know why I added the Miss there.
Yeah.
Like a beauty pageant.
Miss
Summer Banks.
Mojave Desert, California.
California!
Yes, that's me. Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
So glad. Slippery People is basically a podcast about people who have done Sunday slips. And I know you haven't been around in a long time for Sunday slips because you are so prolific and busy and like multi-talented and just so exciting. But we have had you at the very beginning of slips.
Very beginning.
Very, very beginning.
I am vintage.
Yes, and that's why I reached out because I find those were the important times that built our brand or our, space, our community. Also, the environment of Berlin, in the sense of what English comedy is, grew a lot from those times.
Yeah, totally.
One of your specialties is musical comedy.
Yes.
Which is a great moment for you to watch this video so that you can get a little bit of insight for our fans and followers from abroad on what Summer Banks is sharing with us.
Miss Mojave Desert, California. That's me.
I want to be called Miss Velasquez. So watch the video below. If you like it, comment, share, and let us know.
Shall I die alone?
It could be, sister. It is good that thou accept thy shortcomings. Why, one family can only have one beautiful wedded sister. Or at least that's what the witch told me.
Sister?
Yes.
You went to a witch.
Well, yes. How do you think I nabbed my husband's sister? With the witch's wicked willings.
A witch's wicked willings.
You know
Wanton wench!
Come now, sister, do not be shocked. You know this village is very short of men. Why, they go to the war.
Thank you for watching the video.
Just full of gratitude. We are full of gratitude.
So our first question for you is, what is your first memory of Sunday slips?
Oh, Lord. I mean, things that I remember through the filter of time. I feel like it was a show back at, I think it was still called Lagarde.
Yes.
At the time, even.
Yes.
And I was doing music improv with Ben and Nacho.
Mm-hmm. Who have all branched out on their own thing.
Yeah, like Nacho's also not in Berlin anymore, but Ben is still here, and we still work together sometimes. And yeah, we were doing. There was something cool with the audience, and I can't remember exactly what happened. But it was something cool where it was really like, the audience.
They gave you the suggestions and it just all worked out, or something?
More like somewhere halfway through or midway through, they also gave more input into it, and it kept it alive in a way that was really exciting. And I think that's the cool thing with live performance in general, but also at least what I remember of the Slips vibe is that it isn't a dead audience. It isn't just like I'm gonna sit here because we're in the theater. And we're here to listen to people. And we're just gonna be like it's much much more dynamic, much more engaged crowd.
Yeah, they're mostly there to perform.
Well, yeah.
So
but they are also performers.
A lot of our audience are performers.
And
they're engaged. Yeah.
Yeah.
This was a time period when you were doing the Merkel video.
So I was also still working with two other men. Like I'm in a constellation of trios with me and two men.
Smart.
They frame me well. And
like we to this palm tree.
Precisely. Threes are magic. And we all were tour guides originally, and we started this project.
Tour guide, another comedian career path.
No, for sure. Don't worry, parents. Your children can still make money. Not at comedy. We were doing, in addition to tour guiding, this project where we rewrote Disney songs, and performed them at small shows.
Yeah.
And then made a couple of them into videos. And yeah, those were mostly shot on like Alex Opatov's camcorder in 2014. So yeah, that was a little bit while back.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I remember I have a memory of like the Beauty and the Beast song, but I can't recall where it went or what. And I also have a memory of being in a car, I think coming back from vetting, and everybody started singing. There was a lot of people in the car and it was really overwhelming. And I was having like an anxiety attack. Like I was like, oh my God, all these improv people.
Oh, improv people, especially singing improv people. It's a
I was like, this is a really small space, guys.
like, not everyone is with you right now. So you know.
Some of us are having panic attacks.
Let's not do this. Yeah, I'm
Stop,
sorry.
drop, and roll.
I apologize on behalf of the other improv people because that's it is. It's the other thing that you learn in improv is to listen.
Yes.
And weirdly, some people stop at the yes part and yes and they forget the listen.
Yeah, this is something that I've made now into part of the introduction to Sunday Slips every Sunday. I just remind the audience and the performers how important the audience is and listening to them. Like they're our witness. This is how we get better. You have to listen to them, not reacting, to know that needs rewriting. You know, not be like, oh, they laughed. And listen to the laugh too. Like there's an uncomfortable laugh and there's a true laugh. Like there's a guttural laugh and there's like, oh, I feel so embarrassed for them. Most people take that laugh as if they're like, they were laughing with me. And you're like, no, they weren't. They're laughing at you. They are not. Yeah, but it's such a fine thing because when you stop listening at yes.
Yeah. And I think it's the kind of laughs also for me are a cool way of measuring how the power dynamic in the audience is evolving. Because there are definitely your loud laughers, and sometimes those are fellow comedians. Sometimes they're just like comedian stands.
Yeah, when I hear only comics laugh, I know I didn't do good. Because they already know my punchline, they know everything, so they're laughing either just like camaraderie wise, or they're laughing that I did bad.
Yeah,
because comics, you know,
oh, spiteful laughter.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bad one. Oh, it's bad. But also, I think there's laughter that can reinforce a dominant narrative for what is funny and what is acceptable to laugh at.
Absolutely.
And I find those are the most interesting moments in an audience where you can feel that some people are like, I don't want to laugh at that because it's a stereotype about women, but you can hear that there are some people who are like, this is a thing I laugh at.
Yeah.
And those are great
and
moments.
Those are usually contagious too, because whoever else is still a little bit uptight or has some judgment in their brain, but already a small laugh within them, and then they have that loud laugh that will loosen up the other people around.
For sure, like you need a little bit of the contagion, of someone who's just already there, very in tune with what they find funny.
Or people will just laugh at the laugh.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, I mean, that's why laugh yoga exists.
Laugh yoga exists?
I know.
I've never.
I would never, but I'm aware that it exists.
I would rather go to crying yoga. I don't want to go to laugh yoga.
Oh, much more cathartic. But yeah, it's a lot of breathing type exercises that are supposed to get you to laughter, according to my sources. But that feels good because you're breathing a lot, and so you're getting lots of energy.
And you're shaking up a center of your core that needs release.
For sure. And that's like sometimes so really supportive improv audiences.
Yeah.
Or like you can tell that that's what they're there for. They're there to release that, and they will take anything as a cue to laugh. And I mean, those are great because then it feels like you're really just playing them like an instrument. And you're like, ting, like, oh, look, I referenced something earlier. Boom. You know, callbacks, best thing. Yeah, as much as I like those, if you have them all the time, if you have these really, really supportive audiences all the time,
you can become delusional.
And you get a little lazy.
Yeah.
because you don't, like a super well-tuned instrument doesn't require any creativity on your side to try to make it sound good.
True.
That was an interesting metaphor. I'm not sure I entirely
She's
like
talking about
it.
trombones.
Yeah, let's talk about some weird brass instruments. So you're gonna slide in. There's a lot of spit involved. Yeah.
I had a show last night in Hamburg, and there was one woman in the audience. She was really paying a lot of attention, but only until like almost at the very end, and I was hosting, did she let out a huge laugh. And I was so proud of myself for getting her. I was like, finally, because she was sitting in the front row. You know, she was just like nodding away, like, I am German. I laugh like this.
Yeah.
So at one moment, she finally like just cackled. And I, even out loud, said, I was like, finally, I got you.
but yeah, because then you're also labeling what everyone else in the audience was feeling. Like, even if they didn't consciously notice that she hadn't laughed yet, they were feeling it.
Yeah.
And so it's a release for everyone and be like, yes, we have succeeded. High five. I feel
Thank
you.
goodness.
It's such a good feeling.
I think I would have left if I hadn't gotten her, I would have been like upset with myself that night. I mean, I had the audience, but I just like, she was like, you know, face right here.
And that's like, but that's such a real thing. The one person in the audience, like, you can have an audience of 100 people, 99 are with you the whole time.
And that one, you can't look away from that one. No, you're like, why are their hands crossed?
Yeah. and you cannot determine how they come into your space.
No,
you know?
No.
So really, like, what we need to be judging is what's the progress from the moment they came into the space. But no, we have some kind of objective idea of the point that all audience members can get
or
to.
when a performer gets off stage and they're like, you've been an audience. It's like, dude, what?
Oh.
You've been a act?
Okay. Yeah, well, yes, I have. I paid money.
Yeah, and you did not do your job.
To be your audience. Oh, that's a good one. That's painful.
So you are an educated woman. A scholar, shall I say? A scholar. We don't know what we were trying to figure out earlier what you do. We were like a physicist. No. Neuroscientist. No. Linguist. Maybe.
That sounding getting closer, yes. Well, what direction did she go in?
I got a master's in comparative art and literature. Oh, yes.
Oh, and you were posting for a long time all this like women in history, women in art history. I really enjoyed those posts.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. They were basically, I realized as I was doing them, it was my personal canon.
Yeah.
That I had learned a canon, I'd been taught a canon, and like some other like critical approaches to the canon, but I needed one for me. I needed to make one for me. And that was a cool process to really be like,
I don't know what you mean by the word canon.
Ooh,
and
canon.
I am going to ask that now live in front of all of you, because it's better to ask about words you don't know than make pretend you know them.
Yes, please do not make pretend.
Because I have a very dirty mind, and a canon.
Canon can be so many things. A personal canon.
I know. It's like, woo, what size is that?
Own personal canon. The canon is like the Western canon. So the people that we have established are the greats, the good authors, the good writers, the good thinkers.
Which is mostly men, because not many women got credit.
Exactly.
Even though they were doing it.
Nor were they given the opportunities.
Yeah. Or they did it under pseudonym to be able to print. Or
precisely.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are kind of what you're taught is good, what you should be looking up to, the values that they represent are then the values that you should have in your work. That's the idea of a canon. And then, so for me it was like, okay, if I'm going to say maybe I don't care about their values, maybe I care about my values, and maybe I should look at other people that actually represent those for me.
Well, I would like you to bring that back, because it was exciting and fun, and also whimsical, and just like it's nice when it pops up on my feed without looking for it, information.
Yeah, I mean, there's a wonderful Instagram channel called The Great Women Artists. I
Ooh.
think is her.
Dude, my phone's in my crotch.
Yeah.
So. My phone's in my Canon.
I know, personal Canon. Well, you can load a personal Canon into that Canon. Yeah. So I mean, she's doing great work, and that's as much as I see the hustle. She brought out her first book.
Oh, wow.
Called The History of Art Without Men, I believe.
Love it.
And
love it.
Yeah. And so once she was doing it, I was like, okay, great. Like then this project really can just be for me. I don't have to worry about making sure that everyone else gets
it's not your responsibility.
Someone else is carrying the message. Someone else is putting that.
Yeah, there's also there. I think I saw this little playing cards for children that are all women artists.
Oh,
yeah. Something where you I don't remember. I don't have children. Yay. Thank goodness.
Thank God.
Oh my God, thank goodness. Dodged that bullet.
Yeah.
No,
have you completely dodged it?
Pretty much. I'm not fertile for a long time now. I have one fallopian tube. I had a really bad miscarriage, and I'd never been pregnant before.
And no one's hit you with an adoption cannon. Sorry, I'm gonna keep you.
If you're gonna hit me with an adoption cannon, let's hope that kid's already 15.
Okay, all right. Hey, there are kids out there.
Let's get you to college and out the door.
Got it. Okay, so a lot of trauma around the miscarriage around.
I never really wanted children in the first place. I was open to the concept at the time when I was pregnant, but it wasn't my first option. I didn't really. I was in a situation with support and a loving partner that wanted the child, so I was like, let's do it.
Right.
But then my body was like, bitch, please.
Psych! You had a plan.
We're going to stick to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm the firstborn of 5 children, so.
You had children.
Pretty
basically.
much. Yeah. Like my youngest sister is 16 years younger than me.
Okay, yeah.
So by the time I was, when you see your mom pregnant so much, you're like, "Ooh, birth control is great."
Seriously, massive advancement.
And I love all my siblings, and my parents are, very loving. But yeah, no, I'm pro whatever you want.
Yeah, I think it's also. I was thinking miscarriage stories in general. Like that's a turn we're going for, but because there's not so much talk about miscarriage.
I know. I speak very often and openly about it, but people get uncomfortable. And it's weird because I wish more people, like when I had mine, my aunt asked me, is this your first one? And I was like, oh yeah, it is. And I was like, why? And she's like, oh, I had like 5 before I had my child. And I was like, oh, wish I had known that before my first one. Then I would have had like less emotional, because I felt really broken.
Yeah.
And I felt also like an abortion would have been cheaper in so many ways. Psychologically, an abortion would have been my choice.
For sure.
Financially, it would have been cheaper because I was in the United States without health insurance.
Oh, God. Yes.
Yeah. Luckily, I had a wonderful submissive man who loved to cross-dress, cover my expense bills. Thank you forever.
Nice. That's a certain kind of health insurance.
That's a certain kind of health insurance. Become a dominatrix.
Yeah. Parents, don't worry. Your kids can make money. Not with comedy. Oh my. Yes. So how did we land there?
Wow, we went far. We went far with that one.
What was the question?
It was about the toy with the women's toy for the children's toy. With the
women artists that you don't have kids. That's right. That is okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Phew.
My short-term memory still works.
It's the long-term that's gone.
Oh yeah. Not worth keeping those brain cells around. No.
So then you are a scholar. You are also an opera singer, or
I was trained classically.
Classically.
And still do some classical voice approaches to singing. Oh wow.
Which is also, I mean, I guess maybe or not, but you were trained before you got into musical improv.
Yes. Yeah, and that is it's been interesting because of this desire to really create a musical theater aesthetic with the sound is not necessarily compatible with an operatic sound.
Yeah.
Because they're very different.
No, it's more Broadway, more show tunes. More,
exactly. The resonances are as opposed to it's very.
But you have seen opera burlesque?
Yeah. Yes. I love them.
You should join in sometime as a cameo or a guest act.
Maybe.
Bring
Call me.
Call Sarah.
So roll out. Yeah. Do they have anyone covering my general rep? I don't know. But yeah, so I don't claim the title of opera singer because
Okay.
that's a big
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I just
thing.
know you
It's
have
a
a great voice.
big, yeah. Like I'm not actively learning roles and keeping up a repertoire.
Right.
So it's and I don't have like a lead concert that I can just bring out. So yeah, I feel like I
Meow.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So out of
So
my
there,
titles,
yeah. So
I
am
am
I?
a vocalist
What
for
am I
sure.
missing?
I'm a vocalist. Let's see. We covered on tour guiding briefly. I translate. That's the other
Yes.
thing that earns me money.
So
Kids.
basically, she's telling you that she speaks perfect German.
Yeah. No.
No one does.
I know enough German to know that my German is not perfect. But I love writing in English and translation, not interpretation, interpreting. Is really a writing exercise because it's how do you write for an English language audience? Which English language audience are we
It's
talking
a big
about?
difference.
And how do we get that point across
Yeah.
in a text? And it's very similar to writing for an audience on stage, just that it's designed to be read silently with your eyes as opposed to read with your mouth. That is a distinction I am now making. Yes.
So, how long have you been in Germany?
I moved originally in 2008.
Okay.
Yeah. A long time.
It is a long time.
It'll be 15 years in August.
Oof. Time flies.
Oof.
Now, what would you tell? This is my next question. What would my next official question?
Oh, there's a list and we're checking them off.
What would you tell young Summer Banks? What advice would you give yourself looking back at your life and adventures that you've had? Buy more knee-high boots.
Oh my goodness. It's not that big of a deal. I think that would be my biggest advice to young me. It's really not that big of a deal. Because adolescent brain thinks everything is a big deal.
Were you like a soap opera
well,
as an adolescent?
No, I was more like the 19th century romantics, where I was like, everything is life or death, everything is good or bad, the entire world can be like, there is a moral truth, and you can find it if you look hard enough.
So now you're more like,
like
had happened last week too.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's the prefrontal cortex not being like fully developed, that there's some kind of brain neurology thing that happens when you're like 25-ish, where things just start to calm down, or if it's something in the endocrine
I think it just
system.
happened for me in my 40s.
Who knows?
My prefrontal vortex.
Maybe there's also like there's multiple processes of it.
Yeah.
Because I think your relationship to whatever value system that you grew up with, there's always this big, I think quite frequently there's a big period of rebellion.
Oh yeah.
Where you define yourself against whatever it is that you thought the world was trying to define you as. And for me, I was just really serious about that in the beginning. Like I had really dramatic moments of like tearing things up and crying in the rain, like all of these.
Oh, I love crying in the rain.
That is something I still do.
I would do crying yoga in the rain.
Yes.
That's what I want to market.
Yeah, that's a business idea.
That is a
business idea.
Crying yoga in the rain, but it has to be indoors just in case there's lightning bolts. So it has to be like a induced rain. I mean,
like sound set rain, where there's someone with a hose.
Yeah. Or like the sprinkler system above, just a drizzle,
a drizzle thing. Or there's just buildings where they turn on the fire sprinklers.
You just
so you can have that
tree pose,
wet experience.
I like it almost better than Bikram because you're not smelly,
right? And not dealing with
the
smells
or the history.
Which is worse, the history or the smell?
I don't think the history is worse. So we're very, very looking for, we, as in the corporation in my head.
Me Inc.
Me
Yes,
Inc.
there is a corporation in my head and it is real.
Are hoping to tease you back into coming to visit us at Sunday Slips again. We're hoping to see you somewhere else performing. I know you're running several shows. One of them, if I recall, is Drunk Classics.
Yes, which is tonight. Oh my God. I'm looking at the clock.
800A?
Yes.
Yes, that's in Wedding. Wedding is a location in Berlin that is much like Staten Island.
Oh, interesting proposal. I no longer live in Wedding, no longer feel the need to defend it. It does not require a ferry.
That's true.
That's the
but
big
it's
function.
It's like really close to Mitte, but it's also not close to anything.
So far. Like in many conceptual and
for me, it's the farthest distance from. I'm in Neukölln, so it's complete. It's like no matter which direction, it's just
not good.
No,
it's not good.
But this is a great show. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
So, Drunk Classics is a semi-improvised show. That basically means we take the structure of a classic story and reduce it to the most important plot beats to hit, most important characters, most important arcs. And then with suggestions from the audience, we retell that story based on those suggestions.
Is this similar to the TV Drunk Classics, or was it with the? Because that's more comedians.
Yeah. So Drunk History is where they get one person drunk.
Yeah, very drunk.
Very, very drunk. And they ask them to recall some aspect of history.
I do love that show.
It's fantastic. They do a really good job. And I've thought a lot about and could we make something similar, and how would we adjust
because this is live theater versus in the show also the voiceover is happening with the real storyteller, and then the performers are miming it. It's their voice.
Lip syncing.
Yes,
lip syncing is the right word.
I think
they
so.
Dub it.
They dub it. They lip sync.
The voice is the dubber,
and the performer is lip synced.
Yeah, but it was created first. So I mean, the performer.
Words.
Yeah, so no, we do it as a live show. And that for me is also, again, like, I love this audience. My reason for doing it still is because I want to be like, we're going to produce Shakespeare, but I want you as the audience to know that you can say whatever the fuck you want, like throughout the course of this. Like you should react, you should get up, you should be like, no!
It's like burlesque for the brain.
Yes,
So every
burlesque
time
for the brain.
every time something stimulates, you shout out a new word.
Yeah, yes. It may or may not be linguistic, right? Like your reaction does not have to be like, I disagree with that point, Hamlet. It can be just like, ooh, just because I can't. The German theater relies so much on
oohs and
classics.
ahs? No.
No,
I was like,
that's the thing on these incredibly well-trod stories. So the audience knows the story. They're there to see the director's interpretation. And okay, fair enough. The director has some kind of interesting interpretation, but they sit there and the way that they like process it is so passive. It's so internal. And I'm like, we're all here together in the same room.
Let us know.
Can't we be together? Would it be okay for us to be? It isn't a film.
Yeah.
Right? We're alive. I've had my best audience experiences out of theater to film have definitely been film experiences in Germany. Because that, for whatever reason, the audiences I have been in film have been more alive. Weirdly. Yeah, with the exception of drunk classics. With drunk classics, then we get everyone drunk and they're suddenly very alive.
That's true.
Very responsive.
Yeah, I guess you don't get the common response of, you were very funny. I did not laugh because I did not want to interrupt you.
Yeah, no, that we usually manage to short circuit that within 40 minutes at the absolute latest.
Yeah, well, I can't wait to go to one of these shows. I haven't had a chance yet.
I go to Slips, you come to drunk
Yeah,
classics,
all right, that'll be a deal.
We make it work.
Yeah, it's the transport that gets me.
Oh no, I know. This is also my reason for Slips. I'm like, I live in Friedrichshain, getting to Neukölln.
It's actually quite difficult, it's interesting because they're neighbors. I mean, we're really close, but somehow there's no direct transport and bike ride over the bridge and this and that. It's like it's really a complicated simple.
Yes, yeah, it should be much easier.
But
kids, the city was split between the years of 1961 and 1989. And that still has some repercussions for how the public transport system.
I was in the West recently and I was like, whoa, how do I get home?
It's just really far away. Oh God, like the real West?
Yeah.
West End. How to get out there? It's terrible.
And my last question, my final question for you, so you can get off into your stage time, is what's in the future? What is your creative path? What are your ideals? Where do you see Summerbanks taking this creative life?
Yeah, Summerbanks Inc. It's so fun to think of oneself in the third person.
I love it.
I guess Summerbanks. I would really like to continue looking at communities for performance. So both audience as part of a community that includes performers.
Like more installations that are
both in that way, both in terms of how do we create more participatory, more immersive experiences. And also at the same time with digital components.
I'm loving that.
Is that, it's possible. Yes, it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, after the pandemic, you have no choice but to start considering that.
I think so.
Because it changed what our audience is. And also opened up to a lot of people who were handicapped or who had disabilities that nobody considered in advance that want to see shows. And like even just looking at movies now, if you turn around from the screen, you're missing the text message that was sent, that they show as in, digital communication style. They're not reading it out loud.
Right.
And then you're like, what happened? When did they hook up? And you're like, 2 minutes ago when they sent a text message.
You didn't see the eggplant?
Emoji.
So oh my God. So no, to really continue thinking, how do we open up access in all of the ways? Because especially like I studied art and literature and theater. So I'm like, yes, talk to me about Artaud and talk to me about Pinter and all of these very obscure things. And I know I'm like, that's that's a very small chunk.
I'm going to lead you to
society.
a podcast that I listen to. They also have a YouTube video of the interviews, and it's from my acting coach from New York City, Budi Miller, and their focus is on how theater has changed. Everything that you're asking right now, with incorporating more technology and awareness of racial stereotypes and how they're not really that needed anymore in literature. Like you can work around these things even with old plays, and like inclusivity, but how important the audience is as a witness and how to incorporate that more into these performance pieces. The podcast is called The Theater of Others.
Ooh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, I listen to it every single Monday. I am an avid, just I get so much knowledge and power and presence, and just something pertaining to the questions that you're asking. They're constantly tackling these same questions, and it's really inspirational.
Yeah, and I'm definitely not unique in thinking about
nobody is
these questions. Also, hey kids, no one's unique.
You're one of a kind, but no one's unique.
Yeah, you're a unique snowflake, just like everyone.
Just like
everyone. So I think no, but for my unique plan that no one else has. How do we? Yeah, specifically the question that I've been thinking about for the last 2 months or so is specifically in participatory works where you're asking the audience to do something. So that could be as simple as like improv works where you ask for a suggestion to get us started, a word, any word. Or much more extreme where you ask people to be up on stage doing things blindfolded, or asking them to be hypnotized. Like, more...
I never trust a hypnotist.
Whew, like that's hard for me.
Oh yeah, I'm like, no, thank you.
So my question is, how do we continue to get consent from the audience? Not only to show them something,
and that they feel comfortable within that consent to say yes or no, because a lot of times a person is so uncomfortable that they don't give fully of themselves, but they don't feel they can say no in front of the audience.
Right. So how do you continue to empower the audience to fully embrace the consent? Because like consent isn't a thing that's just given, right? It's
and it shifts.
Exactly. And so that there should always be ways for them to revoke the consent, or to also to empower themselves. There's because my idea of participation isn't like, you are my puppet, audience, you do this thing that I want you to do, and maybe you have a tiny bit of freedom, like I give you a little bit of wiggle room, but I want you to do this thing. That doesn't interest me so much as, hey audience, here you are empowered to take this moment. What would you like to do with it? Here's some ideas. But like, do you want to keep going like that? Or if not, also cool.
Yeah.
So these are the things.
It's like bingo.
Yeah.
You kind of like, you're B12. They're like, me.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's
because they're playing. You can't have bingo without the audience.
Exactly.
Like you can't play. You have all these drag queens hosting bingo shows, and they're very comedic. They're improvising. They're bringing all this character work in, and they're flirting with you. They're teasing you. They're telling jokes, and you're responding in one of these modern, not your cruise ship old people bingo, but in one of these, like I think Tipsy Bear has a bingo, Sunday's bingo, and that audience really has to give back.
Yeah, because otherwise,
and they do it with consent, they do it with joy, but they're also drunk.
Yeah, this is alcohol. The short. We get down a dangerous path. but still, I think there's something to be found there. Like, how do you? Maybe part of it is dealing with what are these like
crutches,
inhibitions. What is an uninhibited audience that is fully empowered? Like I think there's,
or when you have somebody that's too uninhibited, but they're not in a sense of awareness of the space, or that it's a shared space. So there's a moment which is a risk sometimes stand-up comics take when they think that they can ask an audience member a question. And that's great, you can, obviously, but you're taking a risk that audience member might come back with a funnier line than anything you could say that night.
Right.
Or that they might take that as an invitation to talk the rest of the show.
Yep. Once the barrier's been broken.
Yeah. And then how do you play again with that balance?
Yeah, in a way that's respecting what they've discovered about themselves in that moment. Because sometimes, like, I definitely have had some audience members once they start, and it's so beautiful because they're discovering something playful about it, and you're like, okay, that's cool, but you're part of an audience. Like, this is not just about you.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't pay for a solo show. Sorry.
Actually, I'm not getting paid to watch you do a solo show.
Also not that. Yeah. So these are the questions that I'm thinking about. Like,
well, I would love to explore that with you further and
Yay.
maybe come up with some collaborations.
Cool.
Immersive and interactive. I love that.
Yay. And consent.
And consent.
The best.
Hopefully there'll be some leather.
No, leather's so great because it has so many sense activations, right?
Smell,
Multiple
touch.
textures, smells, like so cool as a material. Anyways. Yeah. Is there anything else we have to cover?
I think that's everything, Summer.
Fantastic.
So all the way from California, Miss Summer.
Thank you so much. Oh wait, I should vocal fry. Thank you so much. It was really good.
Oh my God, it's always wonderful having you here.
It's so good to be here.
I just want to tell you that here at Slippery People, we take everything seriously.
I hear it. I hear it so deeply.
Yeah.
So much seriousness.
This episode's coming out on a Sunday at 3 p.m.
Wonderful. Yeah. We'll tune in.
If you like it, comment, like, share below.
Absolutely.
And remember, we're here at Wave Dots Studios. We love it.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah. See you at Sunday Slips. Every Sunday, no matter what. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Sunday Slips.